Hey, what's up, guys? Good morning. Sean with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Yeah, you're probably catching me looking down. I'm not used to looking directly into the camera with the crappy webcam on my computer. But anyways, we're going to do our favorite thing that we like to do at least once a month, and that is to go into eBay and explore some of the recently sold error coins. Okay, what construes as an error coin to one person may not be the case to another, but somehow, some way, we're going to take a look at all of the legitimate stuff. We're going to take a look at the stuff that people are hyping way too much as being an error when all it simply is either damage or some sort of post-mint type of thing happening. So we're going to take a look at all those and kind of differentiate what exactly is hot in the marketplace ahead of the busy coin roll hunting, let alone the busy coin collecting season as people get back into their hobbies. But before we get started, I wanted to make a quick announcement, and I've been thinking about it. First and foremost, it looks like pennies are the winner of the latest poll that I put up about a week ago. So we are going to go ahead, and I'm kind of happy that we got pennies out of this one. We are going to go and crack open two $25 boxes of Lincoln pennies starting this weekend, okay? And I have also a motivation for it too. Coming in second place is quarters, and what I think I'm going to do there as well is I'm going to buy a box of quarters, and we're going to break that open either this weekend or early next week. To kind of, like appease both sides of the party, I guess, and, coin favorites. I'll be honest, pennies has always been my favorite, but anyways, I wanted to talk real quick about a Black Friday giveaway. That's about 9 weeks away, right after Thanksgiving. Thought about it. Am I going to do a holiday one or am I going to do a Black Friday giveaway? Well, I figured out a great kind of giveaway item that I'm going to work on together with my audience. Now, the $50 in pennies is only going to be the starting point of assembling a Dansko album. Now, this is one of my sample albums that has coins in it. We're not working off of this one. But what we're going to do is I went and ordered a brand new Dansko Lincoln Cent album that's going to have all of the kind of like the more modern, newest openings, coin openings in there. And what we're going to do with the coin roll hunting activities starting this weekend, I will be opening at the very least one full box of Lincoln pennies per week for the next 9 weeks, and then we are going to assemble hopefully assemble a really nice album that will be given away during the Black Friday weekend time period. All right, so it's somewhere in that 5 to 7 day window right there, and more details to come as we assemble this thing. Don't ask how to get into it right now because it's not open for anyone, but I am going to work on assembling an album, and it's all going to be done on video. So if you guys are interested in these long videos, okay, there is a chase perspective in it. We're putting together a really nice album for some lucky collector out there, and we are going to focus from 1959 on to be all brilliant uncirculated mint state examples, and then all the ones earlier than that we'll just kind of like fill them in as we need to, because wheat cents are few and far between in these Lincoln Cent boxes. You average anywhere from 10 to 12. So whatever comes up, we'll plug it right into the album. And I'm going to see about, well, the one I ordered also has slots for proof coins. So we're going to insert in all of the modern dated proof coins as well. Those are going to be coming from me, yours truly, to put a lot of value into this giveaway item for Black Friday. So I wanted to go ahead and announce that. Sorry for taking it too long into the video. But, that is the plan. And should be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of fun going through coin rolls and then filling up that album with some really nice specimens. So, eBay changed the way that you look at sold items. So you actually have to go into the advanced area in here. You got to click into coins and paper money and type in error and then hit sold items. Okay, gone are the days where you could scroll all the way down here and then hit sold items. It only shows sold items here because I went through the advanced tool. Okay, looks like they did a little update, and this is what we got. So what I wanted to do is explore some of these coins. Are we talking about legitimate error coins, or is this all fool's gold? We are going to focus on coins that are not slabbed. Okay. Just to keep it simple, slab coins means that they have some sort of extraordinary kind of value to them. And the big idea is I'm not trying to get you guys to go and send your coins off to a PCGS, NGC, Annex, or even ICG. Okay? Because that's not what this is about. We're going to take a look at raw coins that people have discovered in change, and then we're going to determine, okay, the validity of some of these errors. Okay? The first one on the list is a doubled die obverse. Okay, they forgot to put that extra D on doubled. Okay, this without the D, the extra D, this word has a whole different meaning. Okay, and not in a good way. 2018 D Lincoln Shield Cent, as you can see, without even clicking onto the listing, this coin exhibits some pretty good die deterioration doubling. All right, where the die simply just hopped a little bit upon ejection of this coin. You can even see some of the ridge ring right here. That's nestled up close to that rim. So that's another diagnostic. This 1954 right here was struck by very deteriorated dies, which is why you have a lot of softness in some of these lettered features. L and I and Liberty, you know, it sold for $2. This 1918 D, by the way, sold for $6.50. So there was one bid out there. And the reason why people actually bid on coins and they actually spend money like this, one of two things. Either they're uneducated to know that this is not kind of like a legitimate error or variety. And number two, maybe they do know and they want a prime example of what a machine doubled coin would look like. Okay, and that's where we come across that. We are going to stay away from like older coins like pre-1950, I guess. This one is struck through grease, and it's missing a digit right here. I would presume it's either an 8 or a 9. I don't know. This one's pretty neat. It's a 2015 Lincoln Shield Cent with a massive die crack on the reverse. Let's go ahead and click into that. Sold for $8.50 shipped. People love coins that look like this, okay, that exhibit something different, okay? The newer coins are supposed to be produced with some of the highest quality in mind, all right? So for coins that come out with obscene-looking die cracks that nearly bisect the entire coin, people like these, okay? They want a specimen for their collection, but they're not willing to spend $30, $40, $50 for one. This one right here is neat. If it was, if the crack was on the obverse of the coin, that would enhance the value probably 3 to 4 times in value. Okay, so you'd be looking around at like a $20 coin at that point. Varieties and errors that affect the obverse of the coin simply just sells better in the marketplace. Sure, we'll talk about paper money. You want to be careful about things like this. Okay, this is what I call a manufactured error. And how this works with this kind of off-cut error look is that people will buy full sheets. Now, keep in mind, a full sheet of dollar bills will run somewhere between $40 and $50. It's relatively expensive. And what people will do is they will hand cut the sheet to give it the appearance of an error much like this. All right. So this is a common practice. Do not pay for things like this unless it is certified in a PMG or PCGS currency slab holder. Do not do it. Okay. This dollar is not worth anything. It's worth $1 if you're lucky enough to have it spent, because it's going to raise a lot of suspicion to its validity as a piece of currency. All right. We're going to avoid the foreign coins, although that is a conversation all on its own for another day. There's a lot of neat stuff to be found in foreign coins, from double dies to various errors, and they can be had on the cheap. So we have this pretty neat 1988 off-center. It's off-center by just a smidge. It says 10%. You know, it's like somewhere in that 5 to 10% range. It's sold for a best offer. It doesn't show there. Probably like $8 to $10 with $3.50 shipping. So that's what you got there. Very much able to find these in coin rolls. This is one that comes up quite frequently. A 2019 D quarter. This is the Guam doubled die reverse. Again, they omitted that second D in doubled, okay, which gives this a whole new meaning. Not in a good way. But this right here is a common occurrence, okay? It is die deterioration doubling, because these letters on the outside edge band of these national park quarters are in cues, okay? When they show and look doubled, okay, it's kind of like the exact opposite. It's not legitimate hub doubling. This is a die deterioration doubling that is as a result of some die hop or a little twist in the die as the coin is being ejected from the minting press. So this one, someone found it valuable enough to spend $8.94 shipped. This one right here, you know, sold for $4 and some odd cents. 88D doubled die obverse. Oh, they put that second D in there. Can't really tell too much based upon what we have here. I mean, if it's unlisted, why would you sell it? Send it to Wexler or Dr. Wiles. Yeah, see, there's not enough to go off of. It looks like die deterioration doubling. I saw the secondary D on there. Couple really nice slabbed examples. So this is pretty neat. It's 1969 series dollar Federal Reserve note, in which it has some looks like front to back offset error on there. So that's like a wet ink transfer as the sheets are being stacked after printing. So that's pretty neat. We got some foreign stuff. This one is an offset, but it really does look smudged. 2001 dollar bill. Another wet ink transfer, maybe. Yeah, it's slight. This is pretty common though. Generally, you'll have a ink transfer that's green on here, and what this is this is saturation of the ink going through the paper from the reverse to the front. This is pretty common. So, anyways, someone paid $39 shipped for that thing. Alright, so we have a poor man's double die. Keep in mind, do not pay freaking $700 for a coin that looks like this. Do not, okay? Poor man's double dies, believe it or not, still has some sort of market. And this is a die deteriorated coin, okay? It's not the legitimate double die that you would normally say. Besides, if you can't spell doubled die right, you should have no business asking $700 for a coin like this. This is a coin all day long that's worth between $2 and $5, and gem mid-state examples that are raw of a die deteriorated poor man's 55 will actually sell between like $20 and $30 on the secondary market. We have a nice lamination here. These are always popular depending on the severity of the actual peel, or if the peel is still attached to the coin, those sell for quite a bit more. This one, I'm happy to say, sold for $8.50. The shipping seems kind of out of whack here. I mean, I just hope if you're going to charge $3.50 that it's going to be in a bubble mailer with tracking. I don't know why that even matters in the context of things, but this one here is pretty neat. You have what appears to be some really good strike through, which obliterated some of the details on the back of this Lowell National Park quarter. I feel like this one probably sold for too cheap. Yeah, this thing has, yeah, right there. It might be right in the wheelhouse. You know, it's sold for about $5 shipped, and right here is where you have a considerable amount of grease strike through. That even goes into Lowell right here. This one's cool. 2006D Nebraska State Quarter. I would venture a guess that this was a roll find, and it's missing half of its nickel clad layer, and you got an exposed copper layer. This is really neat. This was probably an end of strip piece that didn't quite have all of the nickel plating on there, but it sold for $40. That's solid. That's really good money right there. You don't have to second guess stuff like that. If that's what you have, then that's what you got, and you can tell it's real because it has the carry through luster all the way around the coin. If that were the case, then this was like acid dipped or something. You wouldn't see any luster at all. Here's a 1987 broad struck Lincoln cent with a little bit of a die clash, sold for $15.50. That's solid. Keep in mind, broad strikes are going to be a lot bigger than a traditional Lincoln cent size. Might even be as big as a nickel. So keep that in mind. Yeah, I'm just going to stay away from those. So here is a 1990 $10 Fed Reserve note, which exhibits quite a bit of under-inking. Now, it says major board break. Could be the case. $125 is good money for a note like this. It looks like a lot of under-inking. You don't see a lot of obstruction error on this one. It's just, wow, that's pretty incredible. If that was found in just going through, bank stacks, then that's remarkable. That's pretty neat. Australian silver 3 pence with a pretty good retained die break in there. You can even see some of the weakness on this rim right here where the denticles are. $50, $51.42, it looks like, is what the sold rate is on that. If you guys want to get into a really neat sector of error coin collecting that's affordable, off-center Lincoln cent collecting. This one sold for probably like $7, $8 shipped. But they're all inexpensive. If you focus on the later dated copper-coated zincs, you could come away with a really nice collection. Of course, the better coins to pick up would be ones that exhibit a full date on there. Now, this one is a 1989. It just has enough, but you don't know if it's a Philadelphia or Denver minted coin. Okay, they seem to think that it's a Philadelphia, but you can't really say for sure. All right, so we have a 1960D small die chip by Memorial. Those are pretty common for, early 60s. Little die chips and cracks and stuff on the reverse is pretty regular. We'll skip that one. We have a slight misaligned die Roosevelt here that sold for about $5, $6 actually, shipped. It's about the going rate for those with that kind of little bit of offset on the front. So we have a 1974 uncirculated mint set with a doubled die obverse. This is the FS101 Kennedy half. Let's take a look at this one. Check those mint set, guys. They got some pretty amazing. Where'd it go? Look at the doubling. This is the strongest doubled die in the Kennedy half series, and it could only be found on 74. Unfortunately, because of the saturation of the marketplace of this particular variety, it doesn't sell as high as it used to. Okay, your best bet would be to find one in a mint set and possibly send it off for grading. Okay, I'm not a proponent of grading stuff like this. If you're trying to achieve the highest grade level, you really have to use your due diligence in taking a really close look at the quality of this coin. This one right here is pretty beat up for being a mint set coin. There's a lot of little bag marks and scratches and things like that. Just, again, 1960s and early 70s mint set fare are not white gloved. Okay, so they're being produced and minted. They go into the hopper, and then you have the mint employees that actually pull the coins out of the hoppers, and they've already clashed, with other coins in there. So you're not necessarily getting a premier grade of coin. It's a little bit different today. They seem to want to try and find some of the nicest stuff. So we have a 1973 Candy half. So all you Candy half-dollar coin roll hunters, keep this in mind. This one sold for $12.49 with 4 bids. And pretty nice machine doubling. Of course, it's not real double die. This is a die deterioration machine doubling circumstance. But people want really nice, radical kind of machine doubled examples, and this one certainly takes the cake. There is a group of people that actually go out of their way to find coins that look like this, in spite of the fact that it is not a legitimate error. But I'm glad to see something like this sell for $12.50 from a relatively new account, no less. Someone took a page out of the old Blue Ridge Silverhound book there. So we have a clipped 1964p that sold for $6.50 plus $4.06 shipping. That's pretty neat. All day long you find stuff like this in coin rolls. Here's another doubled clip 44p Jefferson nickel. This one's legitimate because you have the Blakesley effect on the opposite edges. That's pretty nice. $115. That's marvelous to see something like that sell for that kind of money. Where traditionally a BU war nickel specimen would be like $5. So, it just goes to show you how much, like the errors on these coins enhance the value. A jagged clipped 64 Candy half sold for $13.35. That's okay. Ragged clipped coins don't command quite the market. They are as a result of a end of strip punch out of that planchet. So they're not the most popular error, but people do love them still. We have a 54S BIE error, so there's a die chip in between the B and E in Liberty, which gives it the appearance of a extra letter I. That's kind of cool. Case in point, this coin here, this 1995 Roosevelt dime, it says missing clad layer. This has the appearance and look of a coin that was dug or was environmentally influenced somehow, some way. You could just tell just from the appearance of the coin that this coin was either in the ground or maybe it was in the garage somewhere and it's collected a lot of dirt, or maybe it had some chemicals poured over it at one point where it stripped some of the natural surfaces of that nickel plating on here, but that is not in error, and it sold for $10. So I hope that person knew what they were getting themselves into when they bought that, just to have a specimen of a chemically altered coin. So we have a 1970D Jefferson nickel doubled die. It says unique, only one so far. Let's see what we got here. It sold for $8. And die deterioration doubling. Yeah, you can see it in We Trust here. You can see a little bit of some of that shelf-like appearance on that doubling. Yeah, a little bit. It's mild machine doubling. You can tell on the profile of Jefferson right there. They actually enclosed 2 pictures with different lighting. All right, so they changed the light source from one side to the other. And, yeah, I mean, it's a nice, pleasing example of machine doubling on a early Jefferson nickel. Hey, if you could sell for $8, I'm not hating. Yeah, I will say the contrary. That is not a legitimate double die. But if you could sell for that, by all means. Of course, one of the premier double dies. Very common. This was in the news back in the day, but a lot of these were produced, and they still sell. A nice specimen that looks like this sold for $25. Very much a mid-state coin, probably is 65 or 66. Keep in mind, this coin exists in 69 for an abysmal amount of money, actually. Many thousands of dollars. Of Quite a bit of money for that. Let's see. Well, 1985, or actually it's a 1995 Star Note. It's older portrait head, sold for $39.50. Sounds about right. It looks like, yeah, gem new, so it's pretty nice. You have a ink smear $5 bill, 77 series, that's sold probably between 50 and 60 bucks. Star Notes representing up there. So if you guys have Star Notes, you want to make a few bucks, and they're in new condition. Definitely nice. And then we have a 48S Lincoln cent with a clip. Sold for $10. And then we have some of the more unique stuff, like this double struck Washington quarter. Sold for $110. It doesn't have a date, though, but you know it's from the 1900s. And it's clad. You have a couple off-center memorials that sold for about $4. Those are all right. 75, no mint mark. Of course, keep in mind, because someone was asking what's so special about the 1975 proof coin that sold last week for $456,000. I'm like, well, it's a proof set coin, and it was intended to have an S mint mark, because those were that's the mint, the branch mint that those were produced at. In the case of that one, it's missing the S mint mark. Call it die abrasion, or just a lack of not putting it on the master die before they did their thing. But there's only a couple in existence. Again, and someone had actually mentioned, oh, you're not going to find this. I'm like, yeah, you're not going to find it if you don't put it out in the universe and actually try. You go through proof sets to find these. Okay, they exist because there's one that sold for a freaking house. So they do exist. You have to find it. That's part of that's part of the search when you're doing stuff like this. You can't just like wish for it and like, oh, it just shows up in front of you. That's unreasonable. 1999 Lincoln Memorial. Oh, by the way, this is a Philadelphia minted coin. You can tell by the business strike surface on there. A proof one would be mirrored out. 1999 with a partial blockage with an indent. That's pretty neat. Sold for $29 shipped. Woody coins. Some of you are asking, hey, do Woody sell for anything? Yeah. Well, here's one that sold for $8 plus $3.25 shipping. That's a impurity mix of the planchet. So that's how you get the nice kind of wood grain effect on it. And it usually shows up on some of the earlier dated coins, like 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe 60s. You might even see it later than that, but it's very rare. The U.S. Mint kind of got their act together at that point. You got a couple more BIEs. 55D is one of the most common dates, but of course you see the market value. Make $5 a piece on them, Not too shabby. $5 a piece. All common dates. 57D, 54S. But it's a $5 bill every single time. You go through 5,000 wheat cents and you end up finding about 25 of them. That's $125 that you have profited off of that. All right, so here is a 1987 Lincoln cent, copper-coated zinc that has major plating blistering on there. It's sold for $11 shipped. We have a slight offset error here, offset printing. So the first and I believe the third printing were offset on the sheet, and it's sold for $93 shipped. And it's all ragtag too, so what do you think? It was found in change? Probably. At that condition level. That's $90 right there in your pocket. You just gotta know what you're looking for. This was a manufacturer note. We're just gonna go ahead and skip right through that. And then we have an off-center, pretty extreme off-center. Of course, no date. $5 plus $4 shipping. Another off-centered coin. No date. $7.50 plus $4 shipping. Again, very inexpensive group of errors if you wanted to get into that. A Waffled Alaska State Quarter sold for probably around $14-15 plus $3 shipping. That's how the U.S. Mint cancels damaged or destroyed or misstruck coins once they come across them. They send them through the waffle machine, the waffle maker. 64D with a repunched mint mark. Pretty neat for $6.49 plus $1 shipping. It's a mint state coin, but it's a very common dated coin. With today's market value of silver, you're talking about a coin that traditionally would be worth about $3.75 in silver, and this one sold for $6.50 plus $1. Another 74D mint set double die Avarice. That one sold for $45. Okay, pretty nice coin right there. Again, another one to keep on your hit list. All right, so out of curiosity, a 37D Buffalo nickel that looks like this. Wow. You want to know one of the key things to look out for to determine if this is a real three-legged buffalo? See the little pimply surfaces underneath Black Diamond's little hoo-ha right here? The little bit of dye, I don't know if it's, if there was rust on the dye at one point that created the little kind of like surface underneath there where it's kind of rough. But that's a legitimate coin. Now the question is, has it been cleaned? These pictures do not do it justice. However, this one singular coin, because it's not certified, I would have to say that it was cleaned. You just don't sell a coin like this with it looking like this without getting it certified. Because if it would have came back as a mint state 64 or 65, you're talking about a coin that's going to be worth like 4 to 6 times the amount of money that this one sold for. Can you imagine a mint state 65 three-legger? I mean, it's one of the most sought-after grades of one of the most sought-after varieties. That is remarkable. But someone got a deal for $1,600. Yeah, we're going to skip that one. So we have a 2017D Jefferson nickel. This one says double stamped. I don't quite know what this one entails, but probably machine doubling. And it is. That's actually a really nice example. You can see it on the tops of the date here. The 2, 0, top of the 1, and 7. So again, we got a little bit of a die hop issue or some deteriorated die attributes happening. So pretty neat. $8. Throw it in a plain white envelope, and there you go. Okay. So we're going to take a look at a few more, and then we're just going to call it. Yeah, do not do stuff like this where you're selling a dollar bill for 99 cents because it has a over-inked 3 on there. That's a tough one. There's another one, too. Here is a 2008P Arizona Statehood quarter. It's got a little tiny die chip right here. It's sold for $4. Again, that's how simplistic it goes. Little die chips, little die breaks, sell for money. This is, keep in mind, it doesn't seem like a lot, but this is a $quarter, 25 cents that you effectively have made 16 times the amount of money on. Some people forget that that happens. Wow. I'm not quite sure what happened here. 1982D, large date. I would venture to guess it's a copper. Sold for $99. It's spotted. I mean, it's got a lot of carbon spots on there. It doesn't look too good, but there's nothing special about that coin that would make me spend that kind of money. Because the one you're looking for is the 82D small date in bronze. Okay, they never made them in bronze, and that's the big transitional error that's worth thousands of dollars. 2009D District of Columbia quarter with a double die reverse, not an obverse, but a reverse. Sold for about $8, and it has something going on. I'm not sure. It has something going on with the E here. I don't know if it might be damage or something, a die chip, or that's kind of interesting. Kind of hard to tell from these images. Yeah, it might be that the top of the E took a hit. which gave it the illusion that it is something above and beyond what it actually is. All right, so let's see, 99. Broad struck for $6. Garnered 11 bids. Extremely rare proof, 69S error, double the die obverse Lincoln cent. All right, so this is interesting. This individual wanted $1,450 for the set, and obviously they accepted some undisclosed amount of money for it. And oh man, oh man, oh man. This has very minor doubling, if any. Machine doubling. Wow. Maybe. Or is that just a reference photo? So, yeah, you have a little bit of doubling. I forgot what you call this. It might be a minor double die. I mean, it's pretty convincing that it is a minor double die, but is it worth... Let's say, for argument's sake, that this individual spent $1,000 for this set. Is that worth it for this? Now, if it's like the only one known, or maybe a second one known, first and foremost, I would certainly send it off to Wexler to see what he says, or Dr. Wiles. Because it might be something. I mean, it's a very minor double die, with all things considering. Jeez. It's crazy. Crazy what you could find out there. There's still a lot of undiscovered stuff. Alright, 1985 Lincoln cent with some deterioration on this die here. It's pretty rough looking. Sold for about $11. Double chin, double... Yeah. Whenever everything is doubled out and it looks like, you know, you just threw Lincoln in the water and you just see all the waves coming off of it, that's what a die deterioration looks like. So some pretty neat errors in here. Oh, look at this off-center, $4.25. Off-center by 95%. So for $26.50, it has just enough of a sliver for it to be known as being a penny. Let's see, 2003 uncirculated sack dollar. It says error. I'm curious. It sold for $13. I mean, it's got a big old nasty fingerprint on the coin. And again, that's all as a result of the pre-production process. So is it considered an error if it has... Someone was not wearing their gloves when they were putting this in the set. And it's missing the W in we. So it struck through. Probably a little bit of grease. It's crazy. Alright, I think we're going to call it there. I mean, we have some pretty neat double struck coins here that sold for, you know, what I consider to be market value. This coin looks like it was slabbed. They didn't disclose it in the listing. There you go, 72 double die obverse, number 8. Of course, there's like 9 or 10 notable double dies for 72 that you got to keep an eye out for. 65 Jefferson nickel, Black Beauty. It could be. That's within the date range for the improper alloy mix for this coin, which will actually make the coin look darker, kind of like a gunmetal-y color. Keep in mind that this improper alloy mix, the Black Beauties occur on the 30s, even the Buffalo nickels, 30s, 40s, 50s, and then a few dates in the 60s, and nothing beyond that. Because in later 60s, going into the 70s, the U.S. kept higher quality controls on their planchets. I don't know if they transitioned to a different vendor to have the supply offered to them. Yeah, but if you have a Black Beauty from 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s, more than likely it's going to be a coin that's been subjected to some sort of environmental damage or chemical altering. See, 70 AD clipped, $5 shipped. Another broad strike with an indent, 1438. See, this is what I'm talking about. Not only this thing sold for $5,000 freaking dollars. It's a 2006. Yeah, we're gonna end it off on this one. $2006 bill that looks normal on the front of the bill, but when you flip it to its back, not only is the sheet offset, but it's upside down. They call it an inverted print error. The images suck balls, but this is a tremendous error. Look through your paper money, because this thing right here is a ridiculous note. Holy smokes. There's no other way to describe it. This thing is absolutely amazing. For 2006, this is a relatively recent note that you just can't express the desirability for notes that look like this. This is rare, by the way. This is one of the most scarcest errors to come across in modern day production of paper money. By far and away, this note shouldn't even been released. It should have been replaced with a star note. But there you go. We're going to end it off on this one because it's a very important note to cap things off on here. But I want to thank you guys for joining. I hope you guys found some value in kind of recapping some of the coins that people are finding in change and other means, and then turning around and selling it. This dollar bill is bonkers, guys. But thank you guys for joining. Love you guys. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for instant notifications. As always, it was a pleasure. You guys keep hunting. Stay tuned for the Dansko album Lincoln Cent giveaway that we're going to do on Black Friday. More details to come. Okay, more than likely when we do the first $50 mass box opening, I guess. I'm going to be doing 1 to 2 box breaks of pennies every single week, all the way up, till we get a nice, healthy mix of coins in here that are really nice quality. So that way we can give away a really nice item for the pre-holidays, is what I like to call it. Pre-Christmas giveaway for Black Friday. Should be a lot of fun. So you guys take care. Have a good one. Keep hunting. Enjoy the hunt. Enjoy this hobby. It's a lot of fun. So you coinaholics, take care. Enjoy your day. Don't work too hard. All right, I'll see you.